I'm assuming no video on this, just audio.
No, we were just audio. And man, I miss those days. No trolling. I mean, very little trolling. But there was no interactive chat, so that kind of sucked. And like I said, we were doing a recorded program at that point. But then we decided to, because things were getting really bad at home. So I was on a lot more often. We decided to do I said, let's do a random live podcast, and we'll talk about, it was Valentine's Day, and I'm like, we'll talk about like the most purchased sex toy on Valentine's Day. Let's just make that our topic. And she's like, okay. So we went on and we called it the Crazy Shit Show. And so we get trolled. Some people call in and they're talking about saving Eric's butthole. And we're like, what the fuck? They wanted to get a good reaction out of us. So they're trolling us about this fucking Eric's butthole thing. And it turns out they're talking about Eric, the actor from the Stern show. And I have no idea who that is. I know who Stern is from his movie, but I don't listen to him. Having Sirius radio, that's way too fucking highfalutin for me. I can't afford it. So I have no idea. I've heard of Stern, obviously, but I don't know about the WACK or anything like that. And so they expected to be able to call in and get a good reaction out of us, because they have a podcast called Trolling the Airwaves with so-and-so and so-and-so on this network called Pod Trash. And they record themselves prank calling other streamers, and trolling them and getting them to Spurg. And but I am not trollable in that sense. I mean, I'm trollable, obviously, but like I have a certain way with trolls. Like I'm the kind of person that whatever you throw at me, even if I'm live, especially if I'm live, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna catch that shit. I might fumble it, but I'll go pick it up and I'm gonna fucking run with it. Like you're not gonna get me to fucking Spurg on you. It's just not gonna happen. And so they liked the way that we handled it. She was the same way. And so they like, follow us on Twitter. And they told us who they were. They told us who the Eric was that they were talking about. We tuned into their show, and they had this guy, Eric the Midget, is who they called him, on their show. And they treated him like shit. And he was on that show for maybe 30 seconds, and he hung up. And I'm like, okay, so this is, and I've been thrust into this new group because we got on Twitter and stuff, and all, it's like, oh, fresh meat. So they're all tuning into our morning show, and they're listening to our crazy shit shows at night. And so I'm like, I've just stumbled into this community. These people are Howard Stern fans. They particularly love to hate these WACK packers. I got to change my content. We got to start seeing if maybe we can get some of these people, these WACK packers who are famously known or infamously known from the Stern show, and why don't we bring them on our show and we'll interview them, but we'll do it a little bit differently. We're going to come from the angle of, I don't know anything about you. I want to get to know you in front of a live audience, and I'm going to ask you questions, and they didn't have to worry about me trolling them and making fun of them about the same shit that they get all the time from everybody else, because I don't know any of that. So I'm coming into this with no preconceived notions, and I'm going to let them have the freedom and the comfortability of just being themselves. And I want to shed a light on these and show them in a light that nobody has seen before. That's what I wanted to do. And I have an ability to connect pretty quickly with people and make them feel comfortable. I wouldn't call that a talent or a gift. It's just, I'm relatable, I guess. And Eric the actor bites on anything that you throw at him. So I was able to email him, tell him I'd like to give him a chance to speak. I would like an interview with him. He didn't know what I looked like. Everybody says, oh, he only is nice to you because you have big boobs. He didn't even know I had boobs or big boobs until like way later. I get him on the show. I tweeted out. I get a lot of hate, but I bring him on and we start talking, and it ends up being a phenomenal show. And he's being himself, and he's not on guard, and he's not worried about being fucked with until we open the phone lines, which he's a good sport about. And, he knows if he tells me to let someone go, I'm going to get rid of him. I'm not going to let him feel harassed or uncomfortable. And so he trusted me. He ended up trusting me, and he ended up calling into my show regularly. Like he did like 4 or 5 episodes with me before he passed away.